together. We ain't gotta force so we can do whatever. I'm hoping that you ain't got a man, yeah. I'm trying to take this to another level. I'm really thinking me and you should get together. We ain't gotta force so we can do whatever. I'm hoping that you ain't got a man, yeah. I'm trying to take this to another level.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It is Nikki here. So today I have this summery makeup look for you. It's pretty orange. I love oranges. I love warm colors, so it's pretty coral and orange. The only difference with this video is that I'm talking through my whole makeup tutorial. So I'm talking through me doing my makeup. I don't really know how this video is going to plan out for you guys. I hope it's not too lengthy. I hope it's not too boring. Let me know in the comments down below what you think, and I'll be sure to get more tutorials out like this for you if you do like it. But for now, if you want to see how I achieved this makeup look, then just keep on watching. Okay, so I'm going to start off by using the Strobe Cream by MAC. This is like an illuminator, so we're just going to pop this all over the skin. It's going to add a really nice sort of highlighted finish. It's really nice when you don't wear any makeup, if you don't like to wear too much makeup underneath, because it just creates like a glow from within, which is really nice. So we're just going to pop that on. Right, so then I'm just going to use the ROCHE POSAY Hydra Phase Intense. Yeah, I don't know, this is all like jargon to me. I can't read it at all, but it's just an eye cream. The reason why I use an eye cream is to prime underneath my eyes, because I do have small little wrinkles that run underneath my eyes. I think it's just because I'm kind of dehydrated underneath that area, so I need to prime them because I do put on quite a bit of concealer. So you just want to pat that in. Once that is done, I'm going to be using the Maybelline New Baby Skin Instant Pore Eraser. I am absolutely loving this stuff. I feel like it really does kind of clear your pores, minimizes pores at least anyway, gives you that sort of flawless blur finish. I don't know if it's got silicone in. It says it's a lightweight primer, but I'm going to pop that in my T-zone. It feels like it does have some sort of silicone in, because it almost feels like a film going over the skin to kind of blur it all. So then for foundation, I'm going to be using the Maybelline Dream Flawless Nude, and this is in the shade 48 Sun Beige. I'm trying something different. The reason being is because I wanted to give you guys a drugstore alternative, and this is kind of like Face and Body, which is my absolute first love in foundation. So we're just going to pop this on. It's got an applicator that's sort of like this. So let's just pop that on. Right, so once you look like you've had an accident, I'm going to be using the MAC 170, which is just this sort of dense brush. I've been going for a dense brush more so than the beauty blender that I use. I don't know why, I just like to buff the product in that little bit better. So we're just going to buff it in. I always struggle because I always hold my brushes right at the tip and really press really hard. And I've been told that I should kind of have a light hand and use the handle at the bottom. So I'm going to try and do that today. I really like this Maybelline foundation. It is my drugstore alternative. I think more so because of the colour. It is a little bit light, just slightly a fraction lighter. But that's okay, because when we bronze the skin and everything, it's going to be fine. Now, the corrector that I'm going to use is the MAC Studio Conceal and Correct Duo, and this is in the shade Rich Yellow, and then you've also got Burnt Coral. So I'm going to be using the Burnt Coral to start off with. Now, the Burnt Coral is where I'm going to place all of where my dark pigmentation is, so that would be more so underneath my eyes, and then I do suffer from dark pigmentation just around my mouth area. I don't know if that's hereditary, but I know that a lot of deeper skin tones do have a bit of darkness around the mouth area. Then I'm going to be using the Rich Yellow side. So we're going to take this and I'm going to pop that just underneath where I've put all of the orange. Not so much where the darkness is, but just underneath there. And then just around my mouth. So the idea behind this is you look crazy. But the idea behind this is the yellow and the orange will mix, and it will sort of make kind of like a concealer shade for you. It's just going to correct all of that darkness and minimize how much concealer, you're supposed to then put on afterwards. I'm actually going to be using this cute little Primark beauty blender that I got today. So this is the first time just trying it out. I've just got it really damp. Hey guys, so this is what I've been using recently, more or less every single day. It's the Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place Flawless Wear Concealer. It's a liquid concealer with a wand, and this is in the shade Medium Deep. I really actually like it. I feel like it's kind of like the Pro Longwear Concealer by MAC, which is what I usually use. It's just a little bit lighter in coverage, but it's just so easy to blend out. And then just using a beauty blender, I soak mine until it is drenching, until I could probably squeeze this and water would come out. That's how I like my beauty blenders, just really, really damp. And I'm actually just gonna buff all of the product out. I love this concealer. It just gives you so much coverage. Like, I don't feel like I need to layer it at all. Now to highlight, and you can skip this step altogether, you don't have to do it, but I'm going to do it with MAC's Prep and Prime. Now the reason why I'm going to do it with MAC's Prep and Prime in the shade Light Boost is because the formula is very light, so it's not like putting a cream concealer on. And because I said to you guys earlier, I've got lines underneath my eyes, like little wrinkles, I don't want anything that's too heavy. So the Prep and Prime is really, really lightweight, and it really absorbs into the skin, so it highlights very naturally, which is what I like about it. So I'm just gonna pop that underneath my eyes, and then I also take it down the center of my nose. I take it just here in the center of my forehead, on my cupid's bow, and then a little bit on my chin as well. So then just going back in with my beauty blender, I'm just gonna blend all of this out. Guys, this is my first ever talk through makeup tutorial. The reason why I really avoid this is because when I do my makeup on camera, I'm gonna be editing about an hour and a half's worth of footage. So I'm kind of really worried about how I'm gonna edit this. I'm not too sure. So that is the skin done. Then I'd move on to powder. Now I have a love-hate relationship with powder. The only powder that I sort of has a place in my heart is the MAC Mineralize. If you guys watch me a lot, you know it's the MAC Mineralize loose powder. This is in the shade Medium, and this is what I usually use just to set underneath my eyes. The only reason being is because I haven't found another powder. Like, I've tried the Ben Nye Banana Powder, I've tried the MAC Prep and Prime Translucent, I've tried the Laura Mercier Translucent Powder. I hate them all. This is the only one, so I'll just take it on a Real Techniques brush. I believe this is the contour brush. And I just take a little bit, tap off the excess, and then I'm going to pop it just underneath my eyes. I kind of don't bake. The reason why I don't bake is because my under eyes are really, really dry. Not like flaky dry or anything like that. I mean like dehydrated. So I find that if I bake, everything looks even more dry underneath my eyes. So then a trick that I have, guys, well, it's not really a trick, is once you've powdered, sometimes it can look a little bit dry. For some people, depending on your skin type. So I just take my damp beauty blender again, and then I just run the damp beauty blender all over, just to make sure that the powder also melts into the skin, so it doesn't look too unnatural, I suppose. So for eyes, I'm going to go in with MAC's Groundwork Pro Longwear Paint Pot. This is kind of very similar to my eyelid colour, so it's a very neutral colour. I know a lot of people will use Soft Ochre by MAC or Painterly if you're a little bit fairer. What it does is it just kind of primes the eyelids, so you're not going to get the creasing of the eyeshadow throughout the day. And it also kind of just creates like a blank canvas. You can put any colour on top and it will somewhat pop. So if you're using, say, like a bright pink or a bright orange and you want it to really, really pop, then you could even use like a white base, because you're never going to see the white, like the NYX Jumbo Pencil in Milk. You're never going to see the white. It's just the colour that you're going to put on top is going to pop that little bit more. So for the primer, I'm just going to be using the MAC 288 brush. It's kind of just like a fluffy brush. I kind of use this a lot for when I prime my eyelids. I don't know why, it's just really good with the cream product, I suppose. And then I'll just be popping that all over the eyelid. Then what I like to do is I like to take my MAC Studio Fix powder in NC40 and my Guru Makeup Emporium brush, which is just this sort of like dense brush. I go straight into that powder, and then I like to pop this just on my eyelid and all the way up. The reason why I guess I do this is because it really does help when I put my eyeshadows on. It really helps to blend them, because the reason being is sometimes the primer can be a little bit tacky or a little bit wet or a little bit sticky. So if you go straight in, say this was my eyeshadow, then it would really cling to that one area and it wouldn't let me airbrush it out. So I like just to put a face powder. It could be anything. It could be a translucent powder. I just use a skin coloured one because again my eyelids are pretty dark, so I like to really neutralise the colour out. Now as per usual, I forgot to do my brows, so I'm just going to use the Anastasia Beverly Hills brow definer, and I'm just going to use a spoolie just to brush out my hairs and keep them a little bit tame. It also like helps to get rid of the product that's out of them that we might have just put in through with the primer and the powder, so it's just going to clean them up a little bit. Then I will just fill my brows in. I don't have a particular technique for this. I sort of colour where there are gaps. I guess that's what I do. I absolutely love the brow definer by Anastasia. I really want to try like the not the dip down products, the little gel products, but I think they'll be a little bit too heavy for me because I feel like they're like, it's like dip down fluid line. So once you've done your brows, I'm gonna move on to my eyeshadow. Now if anyone knows me, you guys know me, you know I like bronzy, dark brown, orange, anything tan, anything just golden. That's what I usually like to put on my eyes. So I wanted to venture away from that, but I've looked at this and I'm like, no, I need to run with orange through my eyelids. So I'm going to start off with this, and I guess we're going to see where we end up. This is just the NYX Primal Colors, and this is in Hot Orange. So I'm going to start off just using a MAC 224 brush, and I'm going to pop that just in my crease area and a little bit above that as well. So this product isn't actually as pigmented as what I thought it was going to be. Okay, so once you guys have decided enough is enough for you, we can move on to the next colour. I'm probably going to come back and clean this up. I just wasn't that happy with the pigment of this. It's the first time that I'm using it. I like the colour, but maybe it's more like, I would say like a blush, which is funny because the other colours that I'm using for my eyes are blushes today. So next I'm going to go in with MAC's Raisin, and this is a matte burnt orange colour as per usual. I love these colours through my crease. I'm just going to take this on a MAC 217 brush, and we're going to pop this just into the crease area. So if you guys find it difficult to find where your crease is here. Well, that doesn't really help you guys, but if you push in and you see that line, that's your crease. So you can pack the product in and then just use like these sort of motions to buff it out, which is what I usually do. And I like to use like round circular motions as well. So once you're happy with that, I'm going to go in with MAC's Burnt Pepper, and this is also a matte blusher. So I know you guys already know you just want to pack the product on as opposed to move it, because that's when you'll start getting all the fallout. It's such a beautiful colour on the lid. So now I've done my eye makeup, I'm not enjoying like this messiness here. So I'm just going to go in with my concealer that I was using earlier. And I'm really just going to create a clean line and then buff that out. So then just using my beauty blender, try not to go over that line. I'm just going to blend everything out. Then I'm going to be going in back with my lid colours and my crease colours, just mixing them all up. And I'm just going to be running all of this colour onto my lower lash line. So next I'm going to be going in with lashes. I wanted to keep it quite simple. I've gone for Icon's Drunk in Love. So I try and stick them up. That way they're going to open up the eyes as opposed to get them going straight across. So I'm going to be using the MAC Extended Play Giga Black Lash. The reason being is just because it's got a perfect narrow wand. Really, really good for the bottom lashes, but just really good to kind of merge your natural lashes with your fake lashes as well. I'm not going to lie guys, I somewhat dread this bit because this is the bit that tells you how well your eyelashes are stuck on. So I'm going to be using MAC's Smolder. I don't know how I feel about this black pencil. I'm just going to pop that straight on. This bit always worries me because I don't ever want to get it in my contact. If you guys wear contacts, you know when you're putting anything in your waterline, you really don't want it to blur out your contact. So I'm going to be using NYX Matte Bronzer in Deep Tan just to bronze up my skin a little bit. And I'm going to be using MAC's 187 stippling brush, just going into the powder. Now the reason why I'm using a stippling brush is just because when it comes to bronzer, I tend to be a little bit heavy-handed and it can look a little bit muddy for me. So I've started to recently just use a stippling brush just because the application is just so much softer. So I'm just going to take it along my cheeks and then I'm going to do my jawline a little bit, and I'll also do a little bit on my forehead. This is just going to give me a natural contour without having the need to contour. Then to highlight, I'm going to be using NYK's Born to Glow Liquid Illuminator, and this is in the shade Gleam. And then I'm going to be using the Morphe M530, which is just this fluffy brush, really perfect for highlight. I'm going to take that just around this area, just really buffing the product into the skin. I guess the technique with this is the fluffier the brush, the softer the application, which is perfect for liquid products like this. And look at that glow. Now sometimes if you have gone a bit extra with the highlight, which is as per usual for me every day, I'm gonna go over with my beauty blender with no product, just a damp beauty blender, and then just buff over that. I guess this kind of makes the highlight sit back into the skin as well. So then I'm just gonna take the excess of the product and I'm just gonna pop a little bit on the ball of my nose. I do just the bridge of my nose as well. I do a little bit of the forehead area, and then just a little bit on my chin as well. And not forgetting my cupid's bow. Then for lips, I was going to do a blush pink to sort of match my top. But I found this. This is the Bare Minerals Pop of Passion. It's actually a blush balm. And this is called Papaya Passion. I think it's such a cute name. But I'm actually going to use it on my lips. I think it's just a really nice coral colour, which is perfect for spring, summer. So guys, the lips are done. I've chosen just to go for a coral colour because it's pretty easy for spring, summer. But I'm going to finish this look off with a little bit of my trusty Fix Plus. This is just going to refresh my makeup. So you practically just want to drown yourself in the Fix Plus. Right, so that is it guys for this summary makeup tutorial. Let me know if you guys like me chatting to you and talking whilst I do my makeup. I hope it's not too long a video or it doesn't get too boring. Just let me know your comments down below. I'm sure to read all of them and I do take them into consideration and I appreciate all of your love. So thank you so much for watching. Until next time, I'll see you on my next video.
I'm tryna take this to another level. Really thinking me and you should get together. We ain't got a force, so we can do whatever. I'm hoping that you ain't got a man. I'm tryna take this to another level.